Okay, I want you to imagine a place so cold, people actually call it cold hell. Seriously, it's a place where just taking a breath creates a visible cloud. And, just surviving is a daily fight against nature. Today, we're going to go to the absolute edge of what humans can handle and figure out, how is this even possible?
I mean, the real question here is just mind-boggling. How on earth can hundreds of thousands of people build a life, raise a family, go to work every day in temperatures that can drop to minus 70 degrees Celsius? It sounds completely impossible, right?
We are talking about a kind of cold so deep that the air you breathe out instantly freezes. It just crystallizes and hangs there in front of you, like a little puff of ice.
Yeah, this is a place where physics just seems different. If you throw a cup of hot water into the air, it doesn't just freeze. Nope, it shatters. It literally explodes into this shower of tiny ice crystals before it can even touch the ground. Wild.
And get this, this isn't some tiny research station in the middle of nowhere. We're talking about a real, thriving, modern city. It's home to a community that has absolutely mastered the art of living in what has to be the most extreme city on Earth.
So, where are we going? We're heading to Yakutsk, Russia. This is the city that holds the official title of the world's coldest. And for the people here, winter isn't just a season, it's their entire way of life.
And just to put that into perspective for you, the average winter temperature here is a bone-chilling minus 60 degrees Celsius. Let me say that again, average. That's not some crazy record low. That's just a normal Tuesday in January.
So you gotta be asking, why would over 350,000 people choose to live here? Well, the answer is deep underground. Yakutsk is a huge hub for the region's massive diamond mining industry. And it just goes to show, where there are valuable resources, humans will find a way to make it work.
Okay, so how does this kind of extreme cold change the simple, everyday stuff we all take for granted? Let's dive into what this frozen way of life actually looks like.
A trip to the local market here is, well, it's a completely surreal experience. I mean, forget about refrigerators or freezers. The whole city is basically one giant deep freeze, and what you see for sale reflects that in some pretty incredible ways.
You've got fish that are frozen so solid, so fast, that vendors just stand them up in boxes and sell them like a bouquet of flowers. Vegetables, they're basically ice bricks. You have to thaw them out just to figure out what they are. And milk, you don't buy milk by the liter. You buy it as a solid block and just break off a piece when you need it.
So how do you even go outside in this?
Well, this quote from a local resident just sums it up perfectly. There's no secret high-tech gear. The real key to survival is layers. Lots and lots of layers. You have to peel them off when you go inside and pile them right back on to go out, just like a cabbage.
And this cold, it affects everything, every single part of life, right up to the very end. See, the ground here is permafrost. It's permanently frozen solid. That means even something as fundamental as digging a grave becomes this multi-day mission that needs bonfires just to thaw the ground enough to break through. It's really hard to wrap your head around this level of cold. So why here? Why is this specific part of Siberia so much colder than pretty much anywhere else? The answer, it turns out, is all about geography.
It's really a 1-2 punch. First, you've got Siberia, which is this huge, high-altitude landmass, miles and miles away from any ocean that could warm it up. And second, Yakutsk itself is built inside a valley. So all that super dense, frigid air just sinks into this natural bowl and gets stuck there, getting colder and colder all winter long.
Now, Yakutsk is the coldest major city for sure, but it's not the absolute coldest place on the planet. So let's do a little global temperature check and see how it stacks up against some other icy spots.
Okay, this is a really important distinction to make. Yakutsk gets the title for the coldest city. But if you go about 570 miles away, you'll find the village of Oymyakon, and that place holds the record as the coldest permanently inhabited place of any size on the entire planet.
Get this, back in 1924, Oymyakon hit a temperature of minus 71.2 degrees Celsius. That's the coldest temperature ever officially recorded in any permanently inhabited place in the whole northern hemisphere. Just incredible.
Looking at this chart really shows you just how extreme Yakutsk is. It holds that top spot. But you can see that parts of Alaska and Canada, they're not that far behind. They've got their own record lows, dipping way down into the minus 50s.
So, living in these kinds of conditions, it's not just about managing the cold, It's about learning to navigate a world that has all these unique and sometimes hidden dangers that the environment itself creates.
You'd probably think that frostbite is the #1 danger, right? But one of the most common causes of injury during these winters is something, well, it's a lot more surprising. It's not about what's on the ground, it's about what's hanging right over your head.
So what happens is, after it snows, the temperature might rise just a little bit during the day, causing some of it to melt. But then, when night falls and the temperature plummets again, all that meltwater refreezes into these huge, sharp icicles. We're talking about icy daggers that can weigh hundreds of pounds and can just suddenly break off. They fall with enough force to be absolutely lethal. They even have public service announcements constantly warning people to stay away from the edges of buildings.
And yet, despite all of it, the frozen markets, the falling ice daggers, the sheer relentless cold, more than 350,000 people call Yakutsk home. They haven't just survived here, they've actually thrived. They've built this unique culture that proves a really fundamental truth about us as a species. We are unbelievably adaptable.
When you really think about it, the story of Yakutsk is just this powerful testament to human resilience. It really makes you wonder, right? If we can build a thriving community in the coldest city on Earth, what other seemingly impossible places could we conquer? Are there really any limits to where we can call home?